It's like the first time I got caught drinking when I was a teenager, I pretended it was the first time I'd ever drank, but we all know that's not true.
And you had cigarettes that were your friends.
Yeah. You're all, it's the first time I ever tried it. And you're like, no, it's not. Like, you know, like I remember the first time I got caught drinking.
First time I ever tried it, you got a Zippo lighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, it's hanging out the cool way. And if I could...
You've got one of these wee metal tins.
You're blowing rings.
What a fluke!
What a fluke! Yeah, get me 200 Benson hedges from Ibiza, bring it back in, yeah. Hi and welcome to Cork in the North. I'm Andrew Ryan. Thanks very much for downloading, subscribing, sharing, watching, whatever it is you do. This week I've got a great guest. She's been in Derry Girls, Border Patrol. She's a regular panellist on The Blame Game, BBC Northern Ireland. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm with Diona Doherty this week. Does anyone notice that these big cases like been given like 200,000 in damages for smearing, and then that's it. But no one ever knows, do these people pay?
Well, I don't.
Because what they do is they go bankrupt and they don't pay them. That's what they do. They did that in England. Some guy in England was asked to pay like $500,000 to a Syrian refugee for racism or denaming him in public, saying he was a wrong one. And then the guy just goes bankrupt, and that's how easy it is not to pay. And
also, you don't actually have to go bankrupt to go bankrupt. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you move everything into your wife's name or something, and then you go bankrupt.
Yeah, and then you just go, well, I have no money. I know.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay it. But even I've had a cowboy painter recently who took all I paid him and he fucked off. So he started painting my house.
So did you pay him the full 100%?
Yes, because I'm a dickhead.
Jesus Christ, Diona.
I know, because do you know what? It is not helpful to tell someone who's done that to not pay a tradesman until they're finished. I fucking know that now. I've been told by about 100 people, do you not know you're not supposed to pay until you're finished? Oh, I know what now, don't I? Dickhead.
So how did that come about? So where did you find the painter on
On Facebook Marketplace. Where you find
straight away, that rings alarm bells. If you're advertising on Facebook, it's a bit... there's checkatrade.com, which is a website for tradespeople.
To me, that's just a song.
Right. Checkatrade.com. Yeah, but when you booked him, when did he start the painting?
Oh, see, this is the next week.
Yeah. Right. If a painter is available within a week,
6 months,
within a week, they're not good.
No, that's it.
There you go. So if you go, I've had a painter around to my house and I got him to do it. I paid him half up front and then I paid him the other half when he finished. And I said, when can you do it? And he went, I can't do it for 12 weeks. And I went, I like you because you're busy.
Yeah. Do you know what happened though? Your man didn't even ask for all the money. I offered it to him.
Oh, Diona.
He got say £500 off me at the start and I was all, there you go. Do you know, to get your wee supplies and wee biscuits or tea, whatever you want to get yourself on for whenever you're there. Now, we bought this house and we weren't living in it yet. So there was a couple of weeks leeway between whenever we moved out of our old house. So we moved into this house. So I was like, there's your couple of weeks to go paint the house. Well, anytime we would go over there, was there fuck a paintbrush in his hand. He was sat around listening to the Alexa, just having cups of tea after cups of tea. Nothing.
Planning his escape.
Yeah.
With your money.
He has kids, so he was literally using my house as somewhere to just nap during the day and just not be home. So
can I just ask, he turns up, how many days is he there for?
He's supposed to be there for he said he'd do it in 10 days.
Right, so he does the first 2-3 days?
Yeah. And
does a room or two?
Barely. You're there and he was like a 3-year-old, it's like a 5-year-old who's come back from school.
He's a 5-year-old painter, that's why he was available within a week.
Do you he'd done a painting and they always wanted to be patted on the back? He'd be like, look what I've done today, look this door. And you're like, alright, and I've done a coat over there. Do you and would want to wait? Oh, that's a lovely job, well done. Oh, I can't wait to see the skirting.
That's very dodgy. So when did you know that he disappeared?
When he didn't turn up.
I know that, but when you know that he wasn't coming back kind of thing.
Day 5 or something, day 4, day 5. And by this stage, I mean, he had painted about a room and a half and a door, right? Badly as well. Fucking paint everywhere. Wooden floors ruined. Fireplaces ruined. Oh, God. Everything's ruined. And I literally walked into him one day and was all... Because I had a joiner there doing work and I'd paid the joiner a deposit. And I came in and I thought, do you want the rest of your money by any chance? So I'll give you the rest of your fee if you want. I'm sorting everybody out. And he was all, yeah, no bother. And then I literally transferred him all the rest of the money. Another £1.5 or whatever there and then he never turned up the next day. And the day after, a couple of days didn't turn up, and then after that it was anyone's guess. He would come back a couple of times and do fucking half a coat on half a door, and then he would fuck off again, and then he just eventually never turned up again.
This is something for Stephen Nolan.
Yeah.
This is like when you're ringing. So he blocked you on everything?
Blocked me on everything, deleted his page, deleted everything.
What's his name?
Oh, are we doing this? Do you want actually? Because we posted on Facebook today. Aodh E. Wilkinson.
Aodh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an Irish name.
Yeah. Pronounced E, like the letter.
First of all, I just want to apologise on behalf of my people that this guy Wilkinson...
He created this monster. Yeah.
Wilkinson painter. Or brackets, Dodgy.
Yeah.
Aeon, wait...
My friend is dying to ring up and pretend to be...
a customer.
A solicitor. Even though I have contact.
So where you live in Craigavon?
Yeah.
Where did he live?
He lives in Dunmurray.
Yeah, but does he not have a wife on Facebook you could track, or...
So...
There must be... You can follow anyone. He's not saying that I follow people.
Yeah.
But, like, you can find people out very quickly.
Yeah, if people can stalk, how can you not find this one painter? Yeah.
Did he have a van with a name on it, or was it just a car?
Have a van?
Oh, Jesus.
He was being driven down by his friend.
Oh, Diona, the signs. It's lit the red flag, red flag, red flag. Here's your money, here's your money.
It was like he came in going, do you mind if I rob you? And actually I'm going to fucking ruin your fireplace.
And you're like, going, here, I'll pay you to rob me.
Here's some custard creams.
What did your Sean do, your fella?
Sean's livid as well. Like, so today Sean outed him. Sean went and saved some of his photographs. So Sean has put up a post on Facebook today and put up some of the fella's photographs.
Right, let me go on Sean's Facebook. I know Sean. Diona, you're married or engaged? Married to Sean Hegarty. He's a stand-up comedian. And I've worked with Sean a couple of times, many years ago. I think I worked with him in Scotland.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm actually...
I think he spent time in Galway too.
I think, yeah, he's one-liner, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
He's only got one line.
He's only got one line.
Yeah.
Is he done on comedian or personal page?
He's got both.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure he shared it on both. But
Here we go. 56,000 followers.
Yeah.
Okay, need to get on his podcast. No. I want to talk to you about that in a second, right? Right.
So I have rang him so many times and told him, like, I've got the place on him, and today I was like, the Belfast Telegraph, we're going to do an article on this, we're going to out you, like I made it out today, like there's an episode of Spotlight currently being made about him.
BBC Rogue Traders.
Is there fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all, fucking cowboy builders, we're on to you. But
I can't find him here. Have you got it on your phone? We'll have a look at it.
Because he's
private?
deleted his life.
Oh, is he?
I think he's had a breakdown. Do you know what's happened? He has genuinely, like, conned loads of people. And he's went, so for like another time I got conned, it's like it's written all across my head. I bought a tracksuit on Facebook Marketplace.
Can I just tell you, I think Facebook Marketplace is not a place for you, Diona.
Do you know what? I love a wee jaunt on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Just as much as I love a wee skit the home bargains. Do you know what? I just you love going, what shit can I buy?
Yeah.
Nothing feels better than...
I've sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and it's terrifying. Like the amount of times I've actually got 3 items on sale at the moment, right? And one of them is like a bathroom stand where you have little drawers and you put in your bits and bobs, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of times...
Is it in good nick? I'll buy it.
It's good nick, yeah. The amount of time you get a message, is this still available? And I reply, yes. No reply.
No reply.
Zero, absolutely nothing. And I'm like, so I reply again, how come? Are you still interested? And there's like,
oh, you're
silence.
coming across needy. You're coming across desperate.
They contacted me.
No, you have to treat it like Tinder. Like pull it back a wee bit.
How do you know about Tinder? You're married, Diona. What's going on here?
How quickly are you responding? Yes, when they say is this available?
But it pops up straight on the phone.
No, you need to wait. You need to call an offer. Don't even open the message for like an hour.
Oh God!
Too needy.
But also, if they don't have a picture of themselves in it, I don't reply because I just think like if you're not, well, I don't know who's coming to my door, you know.
So I was selling a radiator the other day. Right?
Who the fuck is buying a radiator?
Well, it's cold.
Yeah, but like, right, okay.
A plug-in one.
Electric one.
Electric radiator.
Too expensive.
2,000 watt as well. So this is a powerful one.
Yeah, but it kills electricity though.
This is why I'm selling it. That's why I sold it.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, because I was like, that's very expensive. So anyway, we had this, and had it on Marketplace. And this guy, like, he didn't write, is this available? He wrote, Mark, this is sold. I'm picking it up tomorrow.
I love the confidence.
Yeah. It was as if he went, bitch, get your coat, you pulled.
Yeah, or like, delete Tinder, wedding booked.
Yeah. He's like, don't act so confident. I literally was like, I'm not writing back to that fucker. I'm going to wait off and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then somebody else did message and I did sell it to somebody else. And then he messaged again saying, Mark, it is sold. And I was like, but mate, I haven't sold it. I haven't got your money in my hand. I need that 30 quid.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Mark, this is sold.
Yeah, but I sold Chester drawers when I was in England. I was moving house and I had an IKEA Chester drawers. They're like 80 quid in IKEA, but they were already built. So if you think about it, like if I sell it to you for 80 quid and it's in good nick, I'm saving you time to build it. therefore I should be getting the full price for it, right? You know what I mean?
No,
so anyway,
I wouldn't.
This guy messaged me and he's like, can you send me pictures of the back and all this kind of stuff? I said, who's going to be looking at the back? Like, anyway, he comes down and then at the door, he then tries to renegotiate at the door.
Hate that.
Right? So he comes down and he goes, look, will you take 70? And I'm like, now I've taken the chest of drawers from upstairs down. So I'm ready to just
You're ready to charge him
80
transport
quid.
costs
Yeah. Like I want to get my transport costs. But I'm like, it's actually £80, man, and I've had loads of other offers. So if you want, it's £80 or it's not £79, it's £80. That could be a right tight fucker, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, can I just have a quick look at it? And then he just went, oh yeah, can I use your toilet? I'm like, that's not in the agreement that you can use my toilet.
How far did he drive?
Oh, he drove like, I'd say maybe 20 minutes. But he was like, can I use your toilet? And I just had an operation, right? I just had my gallbladder removed, right? So I was covered in stitches here and I couldn't lift the tester drawers into this car with him because I'd said in the message, like, I won't be able to help you lift it. But I'd had my neighbour bring the Chester drawers down the previous day for me because I was friends with my neighbour. Anyway, so we agree £80. He says, can I use the toilet? I said, go on, use the toilet. He goes upstairs. I don't know who this guy is. I'm like, is he going up now and he's going to like go through my bedroom, you know, like try and rob a laptop or something like that,
like
right?
a pair of boxers.
Yeah, like something like that. Comes back down. He goes, right, there, you know, we'll bring it into the car. And I went, well, I can't lift it. He goes, what do you mean you can't lift it now? And I lifted up my top and it was just scars and stitches and all that. He goes, what's wrong with you? And I went,
punishment beaten.
I just went, oh, the last guy that tried to buy something was very violent. But anyway, so I lived near a Tesco, so there was
sold a bookcase last week. Yeah, you tried to take it for a fiver.
Take it, yeah. I actually sold my gallbladder on Facebook Marketplace. I watched Marie Kondo, you know, if it doesn't bring you joy. But anyway, so it doesn't bring me joy, this. I'm just going to get rid of it.
What does your gallbladder do?
Processes fat.
So what processes your fat now?
Nothing. So basically, gallbladder removal is very common in my family. Okay, right. It's kind of like a hereditary thing. So, and a lot of it can come down to your diet. So, my mom, my dad, my sister all had to get their gallbladders out. So basically, there's a little kind of like pouch that you have. It's one of your organs, but it's not like an important organ.
Right.
Like, when I say it is an important organ.
Like your second kidney?
Yeah, like there's like, you know the way it's kind of like, oh, it's a bit like, you know, if you've got like a middle child in a family and you go, well, we had another one because you weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so this gallbladder basically is, it processes fat. So I was at the Edinburgh Festival. And obviously when you're at the Edinburgh Festival, you can drink and not eat great. And I would be I wouldn't say mad fit, but I would always go to the gym and I would always be, I don't smoke or anything. Yeah. Like, so I was wasn't eating great food and I got a gallstone in my gallbladder, which I thought originally was my appendix.
Right.
So I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, this pain. And I mean, they say it's worse than giving birth.
No.
I agree.
I haven't had my gallbladder removed or anything, but I'll just say no.
But you have given birth, obviously, yeah. Well, I think gallbladder is more painful than...
Right.
It's a silent killer.
Giving birth is, in my opinion, the closest you'll ever be to fucking death.
Is it?
You stare death in the face, and they're like I genuinely, and like as a woman, like you're just supposed to be like, you're just supposed to go through it and like wear the pain like a badge of honor. Like you're supposed to like get on as if like, we're built to do this. It is like being in 19 car crashes in a row.
Really?
Oh, it's brutal. Well, your wee gallbladder, what was that like? What size was it?
Just a tiny little thing.
A baby.
And I didn't have to push it out. It was just lifted out. Yeah. It was like a C-section for the gallbladder.
That's it.
But anyway, I got rid of it. I had to go in, I'd get gallstones, call an ambulance and everything. Thought I was having my appendix were being burst. And it was like, oh, you got a gallstone. And then you give you some tablets. And if it comes back within a couple of months, and it's like tonsils, if it just keeps happening.
Yeah, get it out.
And I'd get it out. So I got it out. And basically, if I drink lager or anything, like let's say if I drink lager or anything, but like if I have anything with high fat in it, like it passes through me so fast.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, but there's also this situation of kind of like I could be just sitting in a bar and all of a sudden I go, oh Jesus,
going to shit myself.
Well, not going to shit myself because I'm old enough now. I'm past all that stuff.
You know when you're gonna do a shit.
Yeah, like let me just put it this way: I need to be near a toilet a lot of the time, just in case, you know. But it's a silent disease that men don't talk about.
Do you know what's not silent?
Well,
childbirth.
Yeah. Well, I have no kids, Diona, and I mean, it's your first kid, your stepmom as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got 3 stepsons. I didn't birth them.
Yeah,
but I've
obviously,
got the one that's mine.
Right.
And I did birth her.
How old are your stepsons?
So, 13, 15 and 18.
Oh, Jesus.
The eldest just turned 18.
So what's your relationship like with them?
Good, great, yeah.
Do they, like, can you give out to them?
Oh, I'm the only person who gives out to them. I'm the disciplinarian in our house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did they live with you?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 18-year-old, 15,
yeah,
13.
I'm 13.
And a newborn.
And they are more work than the newborn.
Really?
Oh my God. The 2 younger ones just love to, like, they're just boisterous boys. They just batter each other and bicker. And, like, we moved into our new house and we had to build an extra bedroom just to keep them apart.
Yeah, did you pay that guy in advance or did you actually wait for it?
No, he was very good. He was great, that joiner.
Yeah.
We didn't. We paid him up. Do you know what? If I probably paid him up front, he probably would have fucked off too, just with the door hanging off.
I can't believe that a painter has fucked up, did that to you, like. And have you had the house painted since?
I had to finish it on the week I had off over Christmas and I'm shit at it.
Do you know what, Diona? I have friends of mine in the north here who are painters, joiners that did all my house, all my mates.
Aye.
If I'd have known.
But they say you shouldn't hire your mates to do stuff like that because they take the piss. Because
well,
they're like,
trust
I can't
me,
come in tomorrow.
No. These were, you know, they're totally kosher, like. I heard a great story about
mates is the problem.
I heard a great story about a couple of lads who were doing a house up in the Shankill.
Yeah.
They were putting in a kitchen in a house in the Shankill. And these lads, let's say, wouldn't be from the Shankill area. They would be Irish lads, right?
Yeah.
Northern Irish lads who are whatever, Irish. And they were up in the Shankill anyway, and they were like doing a week, full blast, rip a kitchen, fit a kitchen within a week. Small house, right?
Yeah.
And they got to like Friday morning and they'd been paid a deposit, maybe 500 quid or something from this woman. And they were like, lads, having a cup of coffee, going, this is mental, lads. Look, a couple of us Irish lads here up working in the Shankill, like, it's bloody brilliant, isn't it? Having a crack anyway. So they get to like lunchtime and they're just tidying because they've finished the work and now they're polishing and doing all that. 5 lads walk in, right, we're the UDA, you're done. You're not getting paid, now get out.
So they're on the UDA's kitchen?
Yeah, well, it was like a secret to get them in, get them to do the work, and then when it comes to payment, they're like, get out.
But like, I love how that's how the UDA's violence has evolved. Like, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you'd have lost your both knees and your 2 eyes. Yeah. You'd have been buried in some field somewhere. And now they're like,
if that's not chrome finish, you're getting a kneecap. Like,
let's make them fit a kitchen for £500.
But it was something, I don't know whether it was at the UDA or was somebody else, but it was apparently it was like, they were just like, oh right. So they had to pack up all their tools, lost obviously all that money.
Yeah.
And they were like, don't come back here again. We know your company name. We know where your office is. And everyone was like, okay, all the best, take care.
That walk to the van with your tools must just
knowing
be
that you've lost about $5,000 that week.
Yeah.
Just be like going, and there you go. So much for the beats process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they probably had to be very pleasant to them on the way out. Well, thanks for having us anyway. It was lovely to be here.
Yeah. Any chance of a review as well, just to be safe, even though like UDA, very well finished, did it for free. 5 stars.
Yeah, funnily enough, they were quite happy about it.
But I think that like
Checktrade.com.
But you hear of so many dodgy tradespeople, because when you buy a house, right? Like obviously you moved into a house, and I bought a house recently, and you go in, you want it just to be perfect instantly. So you have this thing where it's like, I walk in, this isn't what I want the house, but this isn't the decor that I want. So what you do is you kind of like, you want to get it overnight, because we're instant people now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right? So you want to do it overnight. And it took me 7 months to do mine. And I had to actually learn how to meditate, to be calm about it. Because I was like, the painter would be like, yeah, I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I'm actually, I'm playing golf Thursday, but I'll be back Friday. I'm like, you what?
Yeah.
You're playing golf
on Thursday? Like money?
Like, so he's like, and I'll do a bit on Saturday morning. I goes, no, but on Saturday morning I was actually going to start putting the furniture up against the wall.
Well, this is what happened with our painter.
You're playing golf.
So we were supposed to get our carpets put down. So there's a plan. And I'm very organised. I like to plan shit.
Yeah.
I like write lists. I've got an app of like work dates that I make Sean look at to make sure he's not working the same dates, because our child doesn't like other people and cannot be looked after by anyone but us. So anyway, I like to organise things, and everything has to fit like a jigsaw puzzle. And I was like, this is your maximum amount of time to finish painting, because then the carpets need to come in. Because then when the carpets come in, then I can get, you know, the new furniture, and the bed's been delivered on that day, and the carpet needs to be on before the bed's on. And, you know. So anyway, So he rang us on like a Tuesday and was like, okay, the carpets can't come in tomorrow because the skirtings aren't done in any of the bedrooms and we can't have the carpets down before the skirtings are done. And so he made us put off getting our carpets put in by a week, which in turn has a knock-on effect and can't move in then for an extra week. And during that week, he just wasn't there. It's like, but you've asked for extra time.
Yeah, well...
And you've done fuck all with it.
What was his name again?
E. Wilkinson.
E. Wilkinson. Well, we have a bit of a surprise today for you, Diona.
Behind the curtain.
Will you please welcome my cousin, Rogue Trader. But it's nothing more disheartening than, because your home is your protective palace, like it's your safety net. I remember I heard someone say many, many years ago, always have a place that you look forward to putting your head at night. So when you do your house the way you want to do it,
that could be seen as an innuendo.
No, but like always enjoy your place where you want to sleep at night. Yeah. You go into, it's your house, it's your furniture, it's your paint, it's your smell, it's your aura kind of thing, right? But there's nothing worse than having somebody like rob you. Yeah. Like that's daylight robbery. Did you go to the place?
Yes, I have, and I have an incident number, and I had set up a payment plan with this guy to pay us back some money, but he was talking shit. He was like, I'll give you money each Monday. This has been going on for about 10 weeks. So I gave him a cut-off point of yesterday. So today I'm going to recontact the place with the incident number that I have and open the case again.
Any excuse, any reasons?
A million different things. Although he was one of those people who on Christmas Day uploaded fucking presents galore.
That you paid for?
That I paid for the week before. Like present porn, nothing does my head on more than people who upload photographs upon photographs of 1,000 presents for their kids on Christmas morning. Like I hate that. Like why do we need to see all your presents for your kids? Like what are you, like your kids don't care. Like just give the presents to your children and get on about your day. But we're all seeing these photographs. So he was one of those people. It was like millions, the sofa just like filled with, and not wrapped. What sort of psychopath is giving their kids presents without wrapping
I mean,
them?
Not painting the house is bad, but not wrapping the presents.
Yeah.
Oh my, that to me is the cut-off point for me.
So this is what their kids' Christmas morning looks like.
Yeah.
Now I've seen them all. Like, do you want each one to be like ripping the thing off and going, oh look, and then oh look, did Diona buy this as well, Daddy? Do you know what I mean? Like,
maybe he didn't get a chance to steal wallpaper from a house to use it as wrapping paper. Like, I don't really know. So you've got an incident number. You've outed him online. He's disappeared from online.
Yeah.
Right. Million different excuses.
Yeah.
He's got to pay you the money back, all the money back.
Not all of it. I asked for a portion.
But you could go to like one of those Judge Judy's, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, Judge Rinder.
Judge Rinder, yeah.
But you wouldn't like this guy's just a criminal. But if he's done it to you, he's done it to other people. You gotta accept that.
Oh, of course, that's it. Like, I'm not his first rodeo. It's like the first time I got caught drinking when I was a teenager. I pretended it was the first time I'd ever drank, but we all know that's not true.
And you had cigarettes that were your friends.
Yeah. You're also the first time I ever tried it. And you're like, no, it's not. Like, you know, like I remember the first time I got caught drinking.
First time I ever tried it, you got a Zippo lighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, it's hanging out the cool way in the fucking.
You've got one of these wee metal tins.
You're blowing rings.
What a fluke!
What a fluke! Yeah, get me 200 Benson hedges from a beat to bring it back in. Yeah.
And saying that, there when I was like 15, my friend's mum offered for me and my other friend to go on a fag run with her to Mallorca.
A fag run.
I was 15.
A fag run. I've never heard of a fag run.
You've never heard of a fag run?
No.
Shut up.
Like we used to go on holiday to like Portugal and Spain now, and you'd buy 200 fags.
Yeah.
Because my mum smoked when I was really young.
That's baby
But you're only allowed 200 fags, aren't you?
Yeah, but you do a fag run is illegal.
Right. So what? So okay.
So you go on your holidays and you check in a big suitcase.
And the suitcase is empty.
Empty, or I think it might be a red flag if it's empty. Now I've never done this. I'm guessing this is how it would work, obviously. So you fill the suitcase with shit and then you dump it over there. But then you buy all of the fags.
All of the fags.
All of the fags that Mallorca holds. All of the Benson and Hay. You leave them without any Lambert. You fill your suitcase. You come back and then you sell them.
Surely these are going to get checked. That's security.
Well, this is what happens sometimes, and I think like the Peru too. You know, somebody will probably tout on you and use you as a what do you call that? A decoy.
Oh, there's something else big coming in.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, you might have like 5,000 fags, but they've got 20,000 fags.
So it's better to get to 20,000 than a 5,000.
Yeah, because the local tuck shop, you'd sell them to like the wee local, not a tuck shop, like a mobile shop in your street.
Yeah.
Do you have mobile shops down south? Like a wee sort of van that's your shop in your street if you live in like a council estate.
No.
Well, the wee van would be your shop and it would be sat on bricks. The wheels would be off it. So that's a mobile. That's a wee local shop.
Hold on a second. Stop. So you're telling me that there's a van that's on bricks
with no wheels.
With no wheels, but it's mobile.
Yeah, the wheels have been burnt in the bonfire.
Oh fucking hell! Right, okay. So
that's
so
your wee shop.
You go down to a local guy or girl that's got a little cheeky van, and you go, listen, I've got 17,000 Lambert and Butler. Yeah. And they're like, all right, I'll buy it for £2 a pack. And they're selling them for £5 a pack or something.
Win-win for everyone. Except for everyone who's...
But surely, so you get a holiday, you buy your fags, and then you come home and you probably get the money back for the price of the holiday. Is that what kind of thing?
I think somebody would send you and pay for your holiday, and you would go... like
somebody would send you?
So I think the tuck shop people are running some sort of business. Like, I think they're like the local mafia of Lambert and Butler.
Okay, is this a Derry thing or is this a Northern Irish thing?
It's a... Well, I thought it was a global thing. But
well, I've heard of people going abroad and they buy like 400 cigarettes because they're cheap and they bring them back and they smoke them.
That's personal use. Yeah.
Wow, I never... Like, I know about smuggling and all that, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But I thought like bringing back a suitcase of whatever, 5,000 Lambert and Butler, surely you're going to get...
I'm sure...
How far away, how far back are we talking?
This happens now.
Oh, does it?
Oh, and it would have happened 40 years ago.
And you get a free holiday.
You get a free holiday.
Right, what's the name of the person that sends you out on a free holiday there? I really need to go to Mallorca. Wilkinson. E. Wilkinson. He's a painter.
It works the other way as well. There's fry runs.
Fry? Yeah. Like sausages?
Yeah. So, like, say, like, in Turkey, where there's not going to be, like, like, not a lot of people eat pork.
So you've got loads left over?
So, no.
Well, you bring the pork out.
We bring the pork out and like potato bread and fucking milk because they've got like sheep milk and shit, instead of cow's milk.
Do you know what? That is like another evolution of some sort of branch of the UDA where years ago they used to bring drums and they're like, potato bread.
We're very violent criminals, potato bread.
Yeah. I used to go over to Turkey and there was a guy that like was in an apartment like beside us. That like he says he lived in Turkey 6 months of the year because he would go over once in a month like back home and just buy out fucking loads of potato bread, loads of sausages, loads of bacon and loads of fucking cartons of milk and just bring them out to Turkey because all the restaurants needed like that because they wanted to be like the authentic Ulster fry place.
Yes.
But you know what you could do? You could ring up Turkey and be like, right, I'm going to bring you out black, white pudding, streaky bacon, Dennehy sausages. But what I want is a new set of teeth.
Yeah.
And they're like going, okay, but you're going to Turkey, got a bit of bacon for what? A veneer.
Yeah. I know what you're going to have to Google. What is the phone number for Turkey?
Turkey teeth / negotiations bacon black pudding. Yeah. But you ever see these people that go to Turkey, the hair transplants and
the teeth stuff. Yeah, wish I went to Czech Republic to buy a baby.
You did?
Yeah, that's where I did my IVF.
Rewind.
Yeah.
You went to the Czech Republic to buy a baby. I know you did IVF because I read it on the news.
Legally mine, but I paid for the procedure.
Okay, so you went to the Czech Republic to have IVF because it's cheaper to have IVF.
It's cheaper and quicker.
But you get one free IVF on the NHS.
I didn't get it because Sean has kids.
Oh, the cheeky bastard.
No, and saying that there, I know loads.
How dare he have kids from a previous relationship?
How dare... And also, the amount of people that I know who has had IVF.
I thought you were going to go to the amount of people I know that have had Sean's kids.
That's an endless amount.
Sean's just standing there and it's like, Sean, 1998, remember that night out?
We're going to have to build another bedroom.
Yeah. So you went to the Czech Republic for a baby?
Yeah.
Wow, you like Madonna.
Yeah, or Angelina Jolie. That's what I was trying to do.
I turn up in Czech Republic and go, ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
So how does it work? So you find a clinic or something?
Yes.
You and Sean go over?
Yeah.
Right. And
you spend a couple of weeks there and for the first instance, and then they just do the whole procedure for you there. Yeah, they take your eggs, your husband's or your fellow sperm, or you can get a sperm donor. Sperm donors like make a fortune.
Do they?
Yeah. Did you ever see that Channel 4 documentary about the man in the van?
No. Was he Scandinavian?
No, he was like from Blackpool or something.
And he's got what, thousands of kids or something?
Loads. He would go jizz in the back of his van, and there's a certain amount of time that you have to get it into your client before they die.
Right, okay. So they make a lot of money, sperm donors, do they?
I think they make like about...
Let's Google. Where in Belfast?
Yeah, I think it's about £600 or £700 a go, and like you just need to drive to their house. You have to do the jizzing.
I'm doing that for free.
Yeah, I know. You're jizzing for free, you stupid bastard.
I would do that for a tenner.
I know.
So can I ask, without being too personal, you go to Czech Republic, you check in. while you're there, you're like, Sean, we need to do a cigarette run as well.
Yeah. He's like, everybody got the suitcase.
Empty suitcase. I said, or a baby, or fags are coming back in this.
I paid for my baby in Danny's sausages.
You were like, you could have a small baby. Yeah, black pudding.
Yeah.
So anyway, you go over and you get to do all the procedures,
Yeah.
and then you have to wait, or how does it work?
Yeah, so this is it is so interesting, right? Like, so basically they get your eggs and they get sperm and they mix them in a dish-ish, right?
Very good.
And then...
Very excited about that.
Yeah, and then they incubate it, right? In like an oven thing. Their oven, not like an oven we would have.
Yeah.
So, and it's like...
So you have to put it on like 220.
It's like a slow cooker.
Do you have a timer on it?
Yeah. It's like you can leave it all day.
Just chuck in some chicken fillets as well at the same time.
And then so it's in there for 5 days, but it grows to 3 weeks old. They like speed it up. So then whenever they take the embryo out, right, and they put it in you, an embryo is a baby.
They basically put the baby into you.
They put the baby into you, but it goes in at 3 weeks gestation, so you're only holding that baby in your body for 37 weeks, because at 37 weeks later, it's 40 weeks cooked.
Right.
So I have a feeling they must have to speed up the process to make it 3 weeks old to make sure it's viable.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So they put the baby in you.
Yeah.
And you come home.
Yeah.
And you just have a normal pregnancy then.
Yeah. It's not high risk. It's all completely normal. You just have to wait a wee while to take your.
And why did you go to the Czech Republic?
Because one, it's quicker. It's not actually didn't work out that much cheaper for us at all. We still spent about 10 grand.
10 grand. This kid better be fucking good.
Like
this kid better be like top notch, A student, real high earner.
I will throw it in her face at every opportunity.
So like when that child gets to 12, you just go, you owe me 10 grand.
Yeah. Every time I give her pocket money, I'm going to make her give it straight back to me as a payment process.
Yeah, that is mental. 10 grand.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'd pay way more than that in some places. Like ours ended up 10 grand.
Because you just conceiving naturally just wasn't happening.
Well, yeah, my husband had a vasectomy after he had all of his children. With
all of Derry. The whole of Derry is just called Hegarty.
Yeah.
I'm Stephanie Hegarty. Who's my daddy? I think it's Sean Hegarty. He's from Donegal, Sean, isn't he?
Well, he was born there, like, but he's Derry. He's Lurgan.
But he's Lurgan. That is insane. And tell me, would you do it again?
No, do what again? Have a baby?
Have another baby.
Fucking hell.
But
so, I tell you this, I was at the dentist yesterday, right? First time in years. Because up until your baby's 1, you get free dental care.
Do you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, because a baby just sucks every...
But you know what? If you're a sperm donor and you have loads of babies, until each baby becomes one, you get dental care for the rest of your life.
It doesn't work for the men. But that would be, yeah.
Again, another issue we need to bring up with the DUP.
Yeah. Per men.
I just find it fascinating that, obviously, it's amazing what they can do with people that want to have kids. And obviously...
Science is unreal.
It is phenomenal.
So I was at the dentist yesterday and I got this checkup. I just got a checkup. And she was like, I'm going to do x-ray of your teeth. And I went, grand. And then she went... She's all, is there any chance that you're pregnant? And I was all, why? What do you know? I was like, can you tell by looking at my teeth that I might be pregnant? She went, no, I'm doing an x-ray, so you can't be pregnant if we're doing an x-ray. It's damaging for the baby. I'm just asking you. And I was all, I thought she knew something by looking inside my mouth that I was pregnant. And I was like, no!
Sean lied to me all about this vasectomy.
Yeah, well, we'll be from the affair.
That is not due to come out. Okay.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is phenomenal. That's brilliant. But do you like being a mum?
I love it. It's the most demanding.
You're a mum and a stepmom. You've got like two things going on.
I don't know which one's more. Like, it is so demanding being a parent. It is so much work. Like, I am going to be perfectly honest, and I hated every second of it for the first 6 months.
Really?
Hated it.
Why? Did you not bond with the baby?
Or? Oh, I did. Fuck, I loved her too much. I couldn't put her down.
Yeah.
I was so worried all the time. I was so anxious all the time. I couldn't breathe. Like, I was just so overwhelmed with it all. It was all consuming all day, all night. And when you're exhausted, she didn't sleep. When you're exhausted, everything is like so much more difficult. And I just found it so fucking difficult.
But with your husband already having 3 kids, was it good to have that sort of experience next to you?
He couldn't remember. He couldn't remember a thing.
Couldn't remember
a thing. It had been such a gap. Sean can't remember last week. I don't know how Sean's a comedian and can remember his jokes on stage. He literally has the worst memory ever.
God, that is insane. Because I have a fear in my life. I have no kids, and I genuinely get really anxious just thinking about having a child. Never mind what would happen if I actually had a child with someone.
You should feel that anxiety.
Really?
It is next level.
Because the industry that we're in, we're in the arts or whatever, so we've no set plan.
Yeah.
You know, you can be quiet for a couple of weeks, then you can be all mad busy.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think for me, it's about giving a child that stability. And we're in an unstable, especially the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So like, how does it work for you in terms of that mindset? Are you very bit like, look, I've always been fine before, so I'll just be fine again?
I think if you can, so for a long time I was like, we're not ready yet, because you know, you always want to hit the next goal in your career before you're like, okay, now I can take a bit of time to have a family. And the more I kept doing that, it was like, well, when will there ever be you just have to do it and just deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, but
there's no right time to have a kid, is there?
Never. And even after you have them, you're all, yeah, that wasn't the right time either. Like it's really, it's the best thing ever, but it's also is all consuming all day, all night. And I don't know how you're supposed to like get the work done that you need to get done. You have to just do it when they sleep. But I had her on a Sunday. She was born on Easter Sunday. And the Wednesday morning, Jackie, the producer of the Blame Game,
yeah,
texted me and was like, can you do the Blame Game tomorrow? And I was like, Jackie, I had a baby on Sunday. And he goes, yeah, I know, congratulations, can you do the Blame Game? I was like, and no, because a comedian had pulled out, was sick. And I was like,
that's such a comedy promoter situation, isn't
but
it?
I was on the following week, so she was 10 days old. I did the Blame Game and she was 10 days old.
But that's the thing about being a comedian, is it's like, can you do this thing tomorrow? I can't, I've actually just I've moved abroad, can you get a flight back? Everything is just like,
how quickly can you fly?
Get here, like, I need you.
I was
get
like,
here.
I can't walk to the bathroom, Jackie. And he was like, yeah, you'll be sitting in the studio. Like,
I'm crying 24/7. It's okay. We'll chuck that in as a montage or something like that.
It's funny. Crying's funny. It's basically the
we
same
just
thing.
want you. If you don't even have to speak, we just want you sat there, so we can flick to you every
just
so often.
Just need to fill the seat.
Oh, when I did the Blame Game, because you're a regular host now, a regular panelist on the Blame Game, right? Which is great. I did the Blame Game many years ago, and it was before I was living here. And I was terrified because it's very Northern Ireland Pacific, is it?
So, and unless you're so well versed like Neil Delamere is, despite being a Southerner, he knows way more about Northern politics than I do.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get there a little bit in terms of the Northern Irish stuff. But I remember when I was on it, Tim McGarry was great. He was talking about the buses. Yeah, there was an issue with the buses, and I was just sitting there going, "Oh Jesus, don't come to me about the buses." I could tell you about EasyJet and Ryanair or something like that, and they knew every single little thing. And then obviously in the show you have your little bits set up for you. Yeah. And once my bits were set up for me, it was fine. Yeah. But how have you found that pressure now of obviously have been on that show when the show records, in terms of that 6 weeks or 8 weeks where you go, I need so much new stuff every week? It's
exhausting. So you write 20 minutes of basically stand up every single week. You have to have about 20 minutes prepared that can be throughout the show. Obviously, lots of it's improvised and chat, and as well. But you need to make sure you have plenty of material written, and that's like, you're like, some of this is shit. Like, but you just have to
sell it as well, don't you?
Yeah, but you also need to. So we get sent the news articles for the week, and you could be reading 100, 150 news articles every single week of what's going on. But it's great for me because the rest of the year I don't read the news. Yeah. So I'm like, oh God, your man's in jail now. That's mad. Like, I'd be.
He was my painter.
Oh, they found him. Yeah, like I literally become so aware of what's going on for that short period of time, and then I can go back to my blissful wee world.
But also, the worst thing about that, if you're writing 20 minutes to stand up a week, that's topical.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can be like, oh, this is going to go down great in Edinburgh or London or Dublin. It's not going to. It's literally just for this record. And also sometimes you do a bit and you're like, sort of hope that doesn't make it because I like that and I might want to use that live. Whereas you feel like you can't use it live if it's been on the TV. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, would you, if you've done plenty of stand up on TV, haven't you? You've done a few bits. I've done 4 or 5 bits on TV. Yeah. And how do you feel about doing those bits live then? Fine. At the start, when I did Russell Howard's Good News, it was my first time doing it, and I used to have a routine about when a bank calls you up, and I would give them like a fake date of birth, so they couldn't identify me. So I was like, well, it's not my fault if I don't know my date of birth. And that went quite. A lot of people saw that. Yeah. So I didn't do that for a gig for about 6 months.
But people wanted to hear it probably.
But then after about 6 months, I was like, I just chucked it in one night, and I was like, who actually watches this?
Nobody cares. I know.
Like, and I think a lot of the time it's in your head. Like, I was in Manchester last week doing a show, and I was sitting in like a side room in the venue, and the promoter came in with another guy. Yeah. And he was like, oh, hi, Andrew, I just wondered, is there any chance you could do your ISIS in Belfast bit tonight? And I went, oh man, like, I don't really do that anymore because, it did really well online. And he went, yeah, but I've never seen it live.
See, this is
so I was like going, oh right, okay, no, I didn't do it. Yeah. Because I was hosting, it just didn't happen. But I was a bit like going, oh, you know what? like...
Why save that?
It's not... it's in your head sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I watch, like, Bill Burr, Kevin Bridges, Catherine Ryan, like, some comedians that I absolutely really love.
Yeah.
I will watch the same routines 3 or 4 times, and I never laugh.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. Like, I go to a comedy show now, and I don't know if you do this now, but I rarely go and pay to see a stand-up do an hour and a half, right? Because, you know, sometimes it's like, I just want a night away from comedy, right?
Yeah.
The last 2 shows I paid to see Bill Burr, and I saw Dylan Moran. Dylan Moran, I probably laughed out loud 5 times, but still one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. Because I'm a comedian, so I don't laugh at it, right? Bill Burr probably laughed out loud probably 10 times.
Yeah.
People around me falling all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I'm not laughing, but I'm absolutely loving it more than these guys. Because
but wouldn't you love to have a night or a day where you no longer have that critical mind and you could just watch something at face fucking value? Like, I watch TV all the time as an actor as well, and I'm like, no, she wouldn't say that. Like, she just she wouldn't say that, because for a fact she was been going to him for 6 years. She's not going to say that to her sister. Like, I'm doing all the time. Or sometimes I'm going, but that question, where'd that come out of? Because she didn't know about her brother.
Yeah.
She didn't know his drug habit, so why would she ask about that? And I am like, and Sean sometimes going to be, would you just fucking watch it? Would you just
fiction.
Watch it?
Yeah.
And it's fiction, it's not even real. I'm all, yeah, but they're trying to make us believe it's real. And I'm like, if I don't believe it, will other people not believe it? But then nobody is watching, no general person, the general public is watching a comedy show or a TV show with that much of a critical mind.
Yeah.
They just don't want to switch off.
Yeah, it's you see, when you're in the game and you know what goes on, and like, I'll be watching stuff and I go...
When you're in the game.
No, but like when you're
hustling.
Well, yeah, when you're in that industry and you're like, I watch stuff like Ricky Gervais's Afterlife, I watched it. So I've met Joe Wilkinson a few times, who plays the postman.
Yeah.
And another comedian called Sean McLaughlin, he was in actually Series 1, he was one of the stand-ups in it.
Right.
And I know a few of the people, and like, I've never met Ricky Gervais or anything like that, but I know, I've worked with Kerry Godleman, who plays Ricky's wife, who's like passed away in it. And I was like, oh, this is insane that I know these people.
Yeah.
And I have, suppose, like you, I've trained to be like, this is just comedy.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't have to mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, let people just
Yeah.
do comedy. You know what I mean?
It's
And
like,
you kind of, as you get older, you appreciate that, be like, it's just fun. And a lot of comedy that's written is not written for comedians. It's written for just normal audience.
yes.
Like.
Because I've written a few plays, so I have a few plays that are going out to different theatres over the next 2 years. They're held back because of the pandemic, but I have one going into the Opera House main stage and then a tour this
Wow,
autumn.
that's great.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. It's like my first one I've written by myself, but I wrote that for an audience, for a specific commercial audience who I know are going out for a night out and want a good time, and like, they wouldn't necessarily be the jokes in that I'm going to laugh at, but you have to keep in your head who is your audience and who's watching that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would see if I ever watch myself back in something, I'm going, am I dead shit, or is it because I'm watching this knowing I learned those lines the day before?
Yeah, and I wouldn't laugh at that joke even if I wasn't a comedian, but I know it's not for me.
Yeah, because I see people laughing at it. Yeah.
It's like this thing. Do you know what really bugs me about comedy and comedians and comedy shows is that? I'll give you an example, right? Mrs. Brown's Boys, right?
Yeah.
No, Mrs. Brown's Boys is an incredibly successful TV show. Mrs. Brown's Boys is not made for me.
No.
Right? Mrs. Brown's Boys is made for like my granny.
Yeah.
Or my mother, who stays in on a Saturday night and sees characters there that can remind them of their parents.
Yeah.
Their old school Irish traditional stuff, right? And then you have people going around going, oh, Mrs. Brown's Boys is shit. I goes, yeah, but it's not for you.
Yeah.
Like, the BBC
Do
makes...
you have a remote?
Yeah, the BBC makes shows for all types of people.
Yeah.
Right? They had... I used to do warm-up for Citizen Can, the sitcom, the Can family sitcom on BBC Two. That obviously was made for a particular type of crowd. Mrs. Brown's Boys maybe a different type. Who stays in on a Saturday night? You know, older people do, but, you know, pre-pandemic. So the thing about it is that, like, people go, oh, Mrs. Brown's shit, it's comedy shit. Yeah, but not all comedy is for you. And I think anyone that kind of slags shows that aren't, you know, designed for you, like, you're obviously so snobby and so ignorant of the fact of what actually comedy is. Not everything you like, everyone else has to like.
Yeah.
Like the Mighty Boosh. Do you ever remember do you remember the Mighty Boosh, right? I used to love the Mighty Boosh. And I showed the videos to my mates and stuff like that. I said, Mighty Boosh. And they were like, what the hell is this? People dressed up as snow, fighting over a cheesecake.
Yeah.
And another guy comes in with a naan bread face. And they were like, we just don't get it. And I'm going, yeah, but I get it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you don't get it, go and watch, you know, two 2 children and 5 pints of kids or something. I don't know what it's called. Like
2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps.
Whatever it's called, you know what I mean?
But that's why there are such a variety of...
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like... I don't know, rock music or whatever, but I don't care. Actually, I have no preference for music, but like you like specific types of music and specific types of, but nobody ever goes, you know, oh, like say you like pop music, you don't get angry about how much you hate
but that's
R&B,
that's the problem now with people.
Angry about how much you dislike, you know, one type of comedy, but you love another type of comedy. It's like, why are you so annoyed about it?
There's
like,
room for everybody.
Yeah, there's room for everyone.
It's like the band AC/DC. Would I pay a ticket to see AC/DC? No. AC/DC sell out stadiums. So they're clearly a good band.
Yeah.
They clearly have a fan base that they're playing to. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But it's just not my cup of tea. And, you know, fair play.
Yeah.
But like...
but the abuse on... Like, I've got so much shit online over the years. Like, so... Like, you know... And people believe that you're fair game because you're in something. You're on TV or you're on a stage or whatever. So we're allowed to slag you.
Yeah. But I didn't mean to send those tweets. That's why I brought you here today, okay, Diona.
Like, I don't go to a coffee shop and go, your lattes are shit, you bitch. Do you know what I mean?
I know, because, like, I mean, did you, when you were, you may know Diona from Derry Girls, which is a show that's not for me. No, I love Derry Girls, but when you got the call, how did you get the call for that? Because, like, being from Derry, and also, was it a bit sort of like, because I know, like, when Derry Girls came out, there was a show in Cork called Young Offenders, right?
Yeah.
And it was great to see like a Northern Irish comedy show and a Southern Irish comedy show come up because...
And from 2 regions that aren't represented.
And also representing local people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know...
Anglicised.
Yeah. It was like, Young Offenders was so Cork.
So Cork.
Wants to start it, you know what I mean? And Derry and all that. How'd you get the part in that? Like, was that... did you audition or was it because you knew someone or like, how does it work?
I think it was like... I like gave someone a blowjob at Channel 4 twice.
Yeah.
No.
And you wonder why you can't have kids.
Oh, is that not how you do it?
Jesus.
So I actually auditioned for the part of Michelle originally, that Jamie Lee O'Donnell plays.
I did a bit of work with her last year.
Yeah. She's lovely girl. I worked with her last week too, actually. But so I auditioned for that part, and straight away they were like, "You look far too old." Like all the other, like you know, I was like, I'm almost 6 foot, like I'm like 5'11" nearly, and the girls are so way, and straight away they're like, you don't look young enough. We can't.
Did they say that to your face?
Yeah. Well, they phoned me, like, I know the casting directors, and they'd said to me like, you're way too old looking, like you don't look.
How did you feel about
15.
that?
I was fine. I was like pushing 30, and they were like, you don't look 15. I was like, fucking course I don't.
Really? I always thought I was a 14 age vibe about it.
Yeah. So then I think they really wanted to put me in somewhere. Like the casting director, Cara Strong, they've won Emmys. They did like Game of Thrones, and they're so good. I think they were really keen to get me in somewhere because they're brilliant. And this part of Katya came up, the Ukrainian, but she was originally called Kashusha. And I think the part was much smaller originally, and that it was rewritten, and I think the part evolved to like a guest lead. Then it was the only guest lead in series 1 as well. So I was there for like on and off for the whole shoot of the 6 weeks.
Wow!
It became like, and I was there the very first day for the very first scene on the very first like scene. Yeah, it's the very first thing. So I felt such an integral part of that wee group at the start. But I auditioned for it, and it was obviously the amount of people that have said to me, "But why? Like you're from Derry, but you're not Derry in it." Yeah. And I'm like, as an acting mad. Yeah. Because that's what that is, isn't
Crazy,
it? Like,
that's just such a strange thing, this acting. Yeah. Do you ever feel because of that particular episode, and it was like, you know, the Chernobyl people coming over, that you kind of a bit gutted that your character may or may not return, you know, like because it was just like they've come over for a couple of weeks and they're gone again. Like, is there a way that you could turn up in series 3? Is there a series? Are you turning up?
It's shot already. But you done. I'm not in it.
You're not in it.
She's dead to them.
Maybe there's a film coming, maybe?
Well, listen, if I can get that guy from Channel 4 again.
Yeah, he's actually works as a painter now. And, but that is insane. That is insane.
Yeah, but it was brilliant, and obviously it's such a big show, and but I also think it set this incredibly high standard for any comedy now. Yeah. That it's very hard to get to without that same budget.
Yeah.
And so any other show that it's comedy and it has any accent just gets like, it's not as good as Derry Girls.
Well, this is the thing with Father Ted as well, you know, down the south. It's like Father Ted in the 90s was like, can you imagine if Father Ted came out today? Do you imagine the stuff on social media about it?
I know.
You know what I mean?
Like, this is ludicrous. Can
you imagine how that would just blow up?
Yeah.
So, you know, with But I think you always have to understand is that, like, yes, that is the standard that is success and all that. But also, you know, it's like a football team. You're not going to win the Champions League every year. You're not going to win the trophy every year, you know. So, but do you find that opened a lot more doors for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it, you know, when you're on something that's national even, and also it was like this stage where it was the very first series and it went so big, so quick.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you know what's strange thing with it is I used to watch it with my mum. So my mum was having chemotherapy, so she would be in bed a lot. And we used to jump up on the iPad and I used to put up Derry Girls for her, and we used to sit there and have breakfast together sitting on the bed, and we'd watch 2 episodes whenever, you know, they'd always be on the iPlayer, and I'd watch them for a second time or a third time.
Really?
But she'd never have watched them.
Right.
You know, it wasn't kind of her thing. And we used to watch them, and obviously like
Mrs. Brown's
yeah, but you know what I mean. And we'd watch them, and she used to laugh like she used to laugh at the nun. She used to laugh at just the way the English I can't remember his name now. The English character, the guy. James, like the way he was just so bullied, but it was the subtlest. James, mind your neck in, like, you know, what's he did, you know, it was just so good.
Like, he's playing himself on that,
is he?
Yeah, and the dynamic even with him and the girls, like, he is lit. That is how it is. They're like, I think he has very quickly become their wee brother. Because
I follow all of them on Instagram, so I often see there's little reunion boo pints, and they're like, you know, meeting up with the gang again or something like that. Like, what was it like to work with Tommy Tiernon? Were you on set with him?
Yes. So most of my stuff was with Tommy, and I was like, I remember getting my little rap clap. Do you know the day you rap and you know, cast and crew give you a wee clap when you're finished your last
I've
scene?
never experienced that. Go on anyway.
That's what it is. So your wee rap clap, and I looked over and Tommy Tiernon was like clapping, and I was like, Tommy has seen me acting.
Yeah, do you need a tour support?
I made a point to be next. So are you doing you're going to your wee Galway tour soon? Are you? Like, I literally was like trying to. But he's Tommy. Do you know Tommy Tiernan at all?
I met him once, right, in Dublin at the Ivy Gardens.
Standing outside his hotel does not constitute as meeting him. And
I was loaded.
Okay.
And it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd done a show, and we were all in this kind of like bar. We were in Whelan's, I think it was Whelan's, and it's like a little area where the performers go. And I was there with Willa White and Eleanor Tiernan, and Tommy came in, and I was like, I was Tommy Tiernan, and I just went over to him, and he's like, he was sound like, and I just went over to him, and I had a pint, and I just did this, and I had the pint in my hand, and I was like, hi, my name's Andrew, you all right? And he was like, hello Andrew, Tommy, and I just went, and what I meant to say and what I actually said, I just went, took a sip, and I went, so why did you still do it? Not as if I wanted him to not do it, but I was trying to be like you obviously love doing it, hence why you still do it. So you know, what is it that you love? But instead it was like, why are you still doing it? You know, when someone says, why are you doing that?
But like, there's no context. He doesn't
there was
even
no
know
context.
I
remember the following day, I saw Eleanor Tiernan at the festival. And I went, Eleanor. I said, I made a right fucking tool of myself last night. And she looked at me and she went, Andrew, Tommy wouldn't even give a shit. And I'll be honest with you, he wouldn't even remember. And I just went, thank God for that.
Do you know, speaking of out of context stuff, right? I had to go to the doctors not that long ago because I was getting like this like rash on my face, like these were like, I don't know, it was like impetigo or whatever. But say after you have a baby, like shit goes wrong and you're just like, that's because
I've had a baby.
Someone sucked the life out of me. But like, I was getting this, and I went down to the doctors and I was like, you know, this is on my face or whatever, like there's all these red bits, and he was looking at it and he was like, it's fine, like I'll give you a bit of cream or whatever, you know. And then he said to me, he was like, but a wee bit of makeup wouldn't do any harm. And I was all, what? And then he was all, I mean, like, it won't cause irritation, like it won't get worse. And I was like, oh, I thought you were like, could you go home and cover that shit up, please?
Oh, that must be, well, see, that was just, I'd say it just came out the wrong way.
Yeah.
It, like?
But he was just like really like quiet, like lovely, like gentle spoken doctor, and he was really like, oh, no.
That's just a general being alive thing, right? But then you'd have some people that would come out of the doctor straight onto the phone. Today I experienced, you know, passive aggressive sexism from my GP. I am tagging the NHS, hashtag Boris Johnson, hashtag, you know, and next thing you know, it just becomes something that is absolutely nothing. Yeah,
or go under like any article that Belfast Live has posted and just annihilate anyone that day.
All doctors are creeps, close NHS. Close I'm moving to the Czech Republic for my healthcare.
I'm never wearing makeup again in protest.
Yeah. I just find out all that's people blowing stuff out of proportion like all the time and stuff like that.
And do you know what? And speaking of people saying like shit online, my father-in-law, like you could literally do an hour stand-up about him, because he has the strangest stories that you're convinced he's just making up as he goes along, but he remembers them perfectly and tells them again, so you're like, maybe there is some truth in it. But for people, like, just as we were talking about people writing things on Facebook, one time he wrote, so he would be friends with my mum on Facebook. My mum's called Donna, you call him John, and he posted on the Christy Moore fan club page, "Happy birthday, Donna." And I was like, is that meant to be for my mum? That was her birthday.
Oh God.
It's like he doesn't know where he is. He can't navigate it. Do you know, it's like, what's happened here?
Anything that a Northern Irish person tells me, story-wise, I believe it more than I would believe anybody else from anywhere in the world. Because there's something about Northern Irish people, they have such a story to tell that, you know, like, do you ever hear that phrase, there's nothing queer as folk?
Yeah.
Like, some of the stuff that goes on here in Northern Ireland, if you actually wrote it down as a sitcom and sent it into Coronation Street, and all this stuff happened, and sent it into Coronation Street, said, "Oh, do you want to use this as a storyline?" They'd be like, "That's too unrealistic."
Yeah.
You're like, "No, it actually happened."
They're like, one of our characters has been divorced twice, died 3 times, had a child at 14, you know, drowned as well. You know, there was a house fire. They've been arrested 14 times. But the story you're sending us in is too unrealistic.
Yeah.
That's my Aunt Bernie.
Yeah. What, you went to the Czech Republic for a baby and did a fag run while you were there? That's a bit too over the top.
Yeah.
Diona Doherty, thank you so much for coming on Cork in the North podcast. I appreciate you coming in, and we see you on the Blame Game. We've seen you in Derry Girls. You've got your stage shows coming up, your stand up and all that kind of stuff. So we do appreciate you downloading, subscribing, following, listening, whatever it is. Every Thursday there's an episode at 6 o'clock every Thursday. It gets released. We're back on again next week. But Diona Doherty, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.